You okay?
We're recording.
I know. I said what I said.
That's good, boo-boo. No, I was kidding. All right, and here we are again. We're back for another one. Mando section. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the other way.
No, there's only one way.
There's only one way.
So we're gonna be covering episode 3. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I would concur.
Episode 3 was bonkers.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So many emotions.
Oh, so many.
We laughed. We cried.
We played. It was fun. It was awesome.
No, I seriously think that's probably
We
one
made
of the
Ruben
best.
watch it right before.
We did actually, so he actually
can partake.
knows exactly what we're talking about, which is cool. But it's, I feel like the production values for that were fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Going over a couple of things that happened.
I watched it in a McDonald's drive-thru.
You did. You did.
And my gosh, it
Which
was
means the episode was
delicious.
either very short or shows you the inefficiency of our McDonald's.
I think it's the latter.
One of the two.
Well, yeah, they didn't give me a freaking straw, but anyway.
Yeah, we
No,
had
they
no
didn't,
straws.
they didn't give us anything.
Nothing.
Can I get a caramel frap? We're out of caramel. All right, I'll get a mocha.
I'll
We're out
bet
of
you
whipped
this
cream.
is the
Is
one
that
time
good?
their ice cream machine worked also,
Right.
and we didn't even ask.
I'll
Yeah.
take chicken nuggets. We're out of those. Spicy
It-
chicken? Out of that.
Is that the deal that they have to make with the devil? But like, we'll make your ice cream machine work, but you have to give up something else.
Maybe McDonald's ice cream
Everything.
machines. Yeah, maybe the machines run like people, and you have to throw all the garbage food of McDonald's into the ice cream machine, and then it creates ice cream out of it.
Maybe.
That's why it never
Probably.
works.
Welcome back to our McDonald's podcast.
Season 2
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
of McDonald's.
Season 3 of The Mandalorian was great. The baby got the nuggies.
Oh, this episode, he got all the clown chowder
The clown child.
that
So-
attacked him.
The Mandalorian and the child and
playing with your
Frog
food.
Woman
Lady.
finally,
Best love story.
Lady Froggington,
Lady
finally made it to the planet Moncala. Which,
Awesome
if you guys don't
planet.
know, that's where Admiral Akbar is from. A lot of the aquatic-looking species come from that planet.
Is an ocean planet. The
it is an
entire
ocean
planet is an ocean.
Dude,
An
I,
ocean.
I
Very similar to
absolutely,
Camino.
I absolutely love the beginning because they're flying the ship, and he's like, "Are we gonna be good?" And the frog lady's all, "Meh."
I'm gonna need you to pull back on this really hard. She's just like, she gets it. Rabbit. But anyway, so they finally land. Their aircraft is completely toast.
Oh, man.
So the Razor Crest is down for the count.
Dude, that landing sequence they had, and he was like, "Oh, we're good, we're good, we're good," and then they fell into the water.
Right
You're
into the water.
good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Ooh, and then the crane thing that took it out of the water, the like at or
Yeah.
AT, whichever
Yeah.
you prefer.
AT-AT.
AT.
AT.
I had a big argument with my cousin. I think
The
that's why me and my cousin
all-terrain
fell out
armored
is because she
transport.
decided to call it an AT-AT.
At. She needs to
But
get
did you
poked
notice
in
they
the eye
used the
for that.
same sounds as they did from when it almost stepped on Luke on Hoth?
Oh yeah.
That was cool.
Oh yeah.
It's like calling it an ocelotl.
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 It's an ocelot.
Yeah.
Ocelot.
But going for that, the only thing that went through my mind is when they were just going in and just crashed. Missed it by that much. But anyway, so they land. Lady Froggington gets out and hops on to go find Mr. Froggington. They finally do. It's
Bet-
great.
baby.
I told you
Hello,
earlier, best
honey.
love story since Luke and Leia.
Best ever. That's horrible.
Hey, why are you gendering them?
I, they Froggington found them Froggington.
Right.
They them
He, she,
Froggington.
we, Wumbo.
Wumbo Froggington.
Wombo.
So Lady Froggington.
And there's only
finds
10
Mr.
eggs, by the way,
Froggington.
still
yeah.
in this R2D2 tank.
Yeah,
Oh my
basically.
gosh, yeah, it's like 10 left after like
That was
40.
That was sad.
And the child's still hungry.
I know.
I identify with that more than you will ever know.
What, eating all the
Eating
time?
until. Are you hungry? Yes. When was the last time you ate?
Yes.
Yes. So
That doesn't matter.
Too many questions. Where's the food?
You just got food 5 minutes ago.
Dude,
I've altered
that
the
was-
deal. Pray I don't alter it any further.
Some gross clam chowder though. There
No,
was
they're,
like
like,
live
delicious.
squids inside
Yeah,
that
live
jump out,
squids in
and
That's-
like again another alien reference, like face sucker.
It's a symbol of freshness.
Yeah, another one.
It is a symbol of fresh.
Symbol
I
of
would hope
freshness.
so. They're
That
literally
good
on an
alien
ocean
wing wong.
planet.
I love it because he looks at the little baby. He's all, don't play with your food.
Like,
He's looking at him like, I'm not.
It's like, stop playing with your
It
food.
attacked me.
I like how he just kind of like jabs it with the
And it
knife, and it's
just-
like, it just
That's
dies.
pretty cool.
But anyway,
Watch instinct.
the frog people tell him where to locate the other Mandalorians, and then they set him up with basically another alien who will offer to take him to where they need to go. Very friendly, very nice, and he's like, "Yeah, just get on my barge and we'll go across."
I want to point out that barge that they're on.
Mm-hmm.
Did you notice it looks like Mon Calamari ship, the Corvette, those hammerhead ones?
Oh, I could go for some
Yeah,
calamari.
dude.
When I was in the water, it had that. That's
Mm-hmm.
cool. I was like, the spaceship is now a boat.
Yep. That's the thing I like about Star Wars is that they can
Recycling.
repurpose anything for anything.
Yeah.
That makes it so cool because it makes it so
The
much
little
easier to
Easter
have
eggs.
callbacks to things.
Yep.
Because it doesn't feel forced.
Yeah.
Because you're just
Comes
like,
natural.
oh yeah, that makes sense.
It's
Because
not-
nothing has to make sense.
It's not the Force.
What?
If you get it, the Force. Jedi joke.
Oh heavens.
It went over his head. He's not a Jedi. He's more of a bounty hunter.
Oh, I got you.
Easy. But anyway, so they're going through. They're on the barge, Mandalorian and the child, and they're like, "Oh, hey, have you ever seen this big gigantic squid creature feed? It's pretty cool." And then of course the Mandalorian's like, "All right, that's close enough. Let's just watch it from here." They open up the thing, put in the food. Homeboy
And he's sparking.
kicks
He-
the
Yeet.
baby.
Is Sparta.
Dude, he straight foot yeets the baby into the monster's mouth. And of course, Baby Yoda's smart as hell, so he flips the switch
He's
like,
50
nope,
years
not
old.
today. Shuts the lid, so the creature eats it. Mandalorian's like, no. Jumps in after him, and the guy's like, all right, close the blast doors, and they close it on him.
Yeah.
So he's stuck in there in the water.
You're
stuck
just
in there just-
stabbing
I mean,
at him.
Jetpacks work underwater, apparently.
Jetpacks do work underwater.
Found that out. I
Apparently,
didn't know
they
that.
I thought they like turned to like a not flame jetpack
Bumblebee!
anymore. It's like
That's propulsion.
a propulsion based. Yeah, afterwards
Yeah.
now.
Well, the clones had him. The clones had him in for Clone Wars, though.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm sorry, propulsion packs. But anyway, he's under there, and as
He's fighting.
he's sitting there like choking and dying, out of nowhere you just hear blaster fire. And who shows up to save him
Sasha Banks.
other than Bo Ka-frickin-Ton and the other? See, that's the thing. I was gonna call them Death Watch, but they're not Death Watch.
Yeah.
they're
I
not.
did the same thing when I
They're
saw. I was
the-
like, "That's Death Watch,"
They're
but
the
then I
Night
wasn't.
Owls. The other Night Owls.
Yeah.
They're the
So-
terrorist group, the Night Owls,
Terrorist group, the Night
Sounds like
Owls.
someone's
Well,
high school
former
mascot.
terrorists.
formerly known
The
as
Night Owls versus Death Watch today. The Death Watch quarterback sit here and threw a touchdown for 60 yards. It's amazing.
Go Night Owls!
Go Night Owls! But anyway, so they save him. They kill everybody. They open up the hatch, pull the Mandalorian out of the water, and he's like, the baby, it ate the baby, it ate the baby. And he's like, save the kid. And of course, the other female Mandalorian jumps in. And you just see just underwater blaster fire. And you're like, oh, my lord, this is stressful. And then, boom, she just flies out with the baby,
all
drops it.
dented.
And they're all, it's messed up, but finally they break it open and pull the baby out. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm good.
Just hanging out.
I'm fine. I was chilling. That was crazy.
It was a wild ride.
What
You ever
took you
been on
so
that
long?
ride before?
Yeah. He's like, it's cool. I only would have lasted like 20 more seconds. No big deal. But saved the baby. And of course, Mandalorian's like, thank you. You saved us. And they take off their helmet.
What?
And that was astonishing to the Mandalorian because
Yeah.
he's never seen that before. And Bo-Katan basically explains to him, you're a foundling of the Watch, a child of the Watch, which basically means that he was rescued by Death Watch and indoctrinated into the Death Watch way of thinking. And for those of you that don't understand Mandalorian culture, there's many different clans that operate
Priests.
independently from another.
Sounds similar
If-
to another
if-
group of
Yeah.
people.
If you don't know who Bo-Katan is, stop watching The Mandalorian and now go back to Clone Wars and Rebels, which is also fantastic.
Yep.
But she is a huge deal.
Huge part.
Huge deal,
Big
especially
time.
on the Mandalorian
Huge
part.
part.
Of
Well, it's
everything.
because her sister is also Obi-Wan Kenobi's lover. But
Yep. But anyway, moving past that, so obviously the Mandalorian gets very offended, and he's like, no, you're not real Mandalorians because you took your helmet off. That's not how we roll. We don't do that. And he takes off. He flies away on his jetpack with the child. He lands back on the docks on Mon Cala, and of course that guy who tried to kill him, his brother's there. And he says, whoa, wait a minute, you killed my brother. You think we're just going to let you go? We're going to kill you. And he's like, no, you don't want to do that. And he's like, yeah, we do. We're going to kill you. And then, like a biker gang out of hell,
I love it.
the other Mandalorian just going to just land up. And she's like, like a legend. She's like, he didn't kill your brother. I killed your brother.
Bink! And then that was it.
Pew, 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 pew. They have a freaking OK Corral shootout real
Who shot first?
And they kill them within 5 seconds.
Yeah, they were done.
All like 15 to 20 of them in 5 seconds.
Done.
And that shows the efficiency of Mandalore.
real Mandalorian.
Real Mandalorians, the efficiency. And that's how awesome it is. Because this is the first time you see the Mandalorian, the main character of the show, actually look not Billy Badass.
Yeah.
For once, he's getting outshined by someone. And that is so cool that they had the guts to do that.
Well, because it setting itself up like it's gonna be. This is where I think they're gonna find longevity.
Right.
Is they're setting it up so that he doesn't look like the badass, and obviously
he needs to have
this goes
growth.
into the stuff we're probably gonna cover after we do a little bit more summarization.
Right.
But I think moving forward, you're gonna see him develop more. As a
character.
a Mandalorian, and just see him get better and better because he's probably going to end up learning from a lot of different people. It's showing the overall, because he's a badass, it's also showing how he's been isolated. Yeah, isolated from
and
other...
molded from just such an old way that he will open up to new.
Yeah. And this episode really was cool because it kind of hinted at that.
Well, because up until this point, his only training has really been from Clan Vizsla.
And surviving.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So he really doesn't have... And each Mandalorian clan had a different way of fighting, different tactics, different armor, different everything. So his view of that sort of world as well as his culture... I mean, the same thing like we look at America. Your way of learning things in New York is different from California, different from Texas, different from everywhere. So it's kind of that same way. It's very cool to see that evolution. But anyway, they save his life again... I feel like Forrest Gump. And then I got to meet the Mandalorians again. And then we went to the tavern again. But anyway, they save his life. And she's like, let us buy you a dinner. So they take him out.
And Spotchka.
Yeah.
And he gets to get a little bit more information about them. And they say, listen, we'll help you, but you need to help us. There's an Imperial freighter that's docked here. And it has crates and crates and crates full of our weapons and valuables from the planet of Mandalore, which is very valuable. As we know, for Mandalorians, weapons are part of their religion. It's a very vital part of their society. So they say, help us get those back, and we'll get you where you need to go. So, of course, he says, yeah, sounds good. But after that, he obviously goes back to Lady Froggington, and says, hey, by the way, I'm going to go do some Billy Badass stuff. I'm going to need you to watch the baby.
This is my favorite part of this whole episode. He gives Baby Yoda to them, and he just goes face up to the glass, looking at the eggs like a cat that's about to get fed treats.
Behave yourself.
The fact that he looks at Baby Yoda and goes, behave yourself.
Yeah. Mind your manners.
You know what I'm talking about.
And then he goes right up to the glass.
Cool.
Like,
But then the tadpole comes out.
And then there's the
And then,
tadpole. So you actually,
for those of you who care about the actual eggs.
yeah. And so they're hatching. They're actually becoming real creatures now. They look delicious. Little
frog
frog nuggets.
Deliciosa.
Oh my gosh.
Stop. But anyway, so they go off. They wait for the ship to take off and get into orbit. Because they're in a shipping lane, they can only ascend so high and only can go so fast.
I'm surprised they followed the rules.
I'm so sorry to break off this point, but thinking about Baby Yoda eating the eggs, I thought of, did you see that Futurama episode where they had poplars? And they're like, they're delicious. You can eat them, you can stick them, you can have them. And they had a whole jingle, and they're all, those are our babies. They're just like...
The poplars, bro.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
the poplars.
No, but thank you for that.
Yeah.
That puts so much more
I
context
remember
on it.
that. Yes, I can remember it like it's yesterday, and I
The snack
seen
that smiles back.
Poplars.
That. Poplars.
The snack that screams in terror. Poplars. But so obviously they're in a shipping lane. They have regulations that they have to do, and they decide that's when we're going to attack because they're regulated to stay there. The ship's not allowed to do that, so we're going to operate at that time. So of course, ship takes off. They fly off after it, land on the ship, and there's
the music.
and
for
they
that
so
put
good.
in the coolest chase scene music. Like I felt like I was in Need for Speed. Was doing the like super cool chase music, and that's awesome because you don't really hear that in Star Wars.
Well, it's
No,
funny
that's
though
original
because
stuff.
for most of that scene with that soundtrack going or with that music going, it was one shot, one frame of just the ship flying, and I'm like, this is really climactic music for a shot of a ship moving, but it transitioned into some badassery. But...
And then all of a sudden you just see 4 trails following after him. Go ahead.
I do have a question. Those stormtroopers that were outside the freighter, were they just gonna walk inside into the pressurized cabin as they were ascending? I don't understand why stormtroopers were outside.
No, because once you're about to make the jump into obviously the higher atmospheres, and stormtroopers can actually handle some sort of low pressure environments.
Man,
the suits are semi-pressurized.
I like what my brain thought of instead of your
I'm
actual
sorry.
explanation.
I'm sorry.
I thought of them taking off the stormtroopers Wilhelm scream.
just disposable anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Oh look, they actually hit the water. They hit something.
Yeah. As they eloquently put it, they couldn't hit the broadside of a bantha.
Yeah.
But so they fly up there, and all of a sudden the stormtroopers, dumber than a box of rocks,
They've
are just
always
sitting there
been
like,
like that.
what? And they boom kick them off the side. They're falling off into the planet. They're probably about 1 billion feet above in the air.
That's
And
a lot of feet.
One of the stormtroopers is like, it's pirates. Obviously.
Oh, that was so funny.
And it's
Yeah.
pirates, dog? For
Really?
real? Okay. So
Really?
they end up hacking into the door because the ship goes on lockdown. They get in and they start fighting their way through things. Go ahead.
The part where they talk about the pirates, they're like, how many of them is there? They're like, there's 10, maybe more. And there's 4 Mandalorians.
Just 4. That's
There's
it.
3 and a
10 of
half
them,
because
possibly
Mando's
more.
old and out of shape.
And they're destroying these stormtroopers.
So funny.
Finally, one of the
The officer guy.
officers,
Yeah.
he's like, lock the blast doors, lock them. And he goes, which doors? All of them. And they basically just pull a Rogue One where all the doors start locking on the troopers. And they're like, oh, crap. Start blasting away, killing all the stormtroopers. And then the captain of the ship is like, what happened? What's wrong? And he's like, don't worry. We locked them. They're secure. Where did you lock them in? Don't worry. They're in the cargo control area.
Where are you? In the cargo area.
And he was like,
Where?
you put them where? And he's like, the cargo control area. And all of a sudden the Mandalorians open the blast doors on the other side
all
and they
of a
just
sudden-
get sucked into the vacuum of space. It's the funniest thing. And then finally they're, talking to the captain through the little intercoms. He's like, yeah, your crew didn't make it. But anyway,
Where's the
put
dark
some
saber?
tea on and we'll be up there in a
That
minute.
was cool.
So they end up talking. The captain ends up talking to Moff Gideon.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. And he says they've infiltrated the ship. It's 4 Mandalorians. And he's like, okay, well, are these the same people that took down our last couple of ships?
Yeah.
And he says, well, yeah, most likely. And he says, well, what do you want me to do? He goes, we need support immediately. He goes, frankly, if they're already taking everything but
He
the
said
bridge.
they're at the bridge.
They're at the bridge. He says, well, if they've taken everything but the bridge,
You know
chances
what
are
to do.
you know what to do.
It's
And
game over.
bink. For the glory of the Empire, long live the Empire.
live the
And
Empire.
the captain shoots the 2 pilots of the ship. And keep in mind, this thing is massive. It
Yeah.
really
It's a
is
freighter
big.
ship.
We don't want you guys to think it's like an X-Wing or Slave 1 size. It's big.
Yeah,
it's an
it's
actual
huge.
freighter. Probably bigger than a Corellian Corvette.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, he shoots them, and then he just nosedives that baby, and it's just going straight down towards the planet. He's going to scuttle it, because that's the plan. And, of course, they start getting shot at by other stormtroopers that are still alive, but with heavy repeater blasters, things like that.
That part was another one of my favorite parts of the episode because, Ruben was talking about. He's not the badass anymore. They're developing his story a little bit more with more Mandalorians. Watching him not like he's a lone wolf. He's always worked by himself.
Yep.
To watch him grab the grenades and run straight forward into the blaster fire with his Beskar.
Yeah.
And it starts bing, 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 bing.
Yeah.
Like it's
And
it's
he
literally
fell.
ricocheting off him.
And he
He
just
fell and just rolled
throws
them.
him, yeah.
I'm like, dude, this is a guy who's like working on a team right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It was-
what we didn't talk about was what they had discussed right before they stormed the bridge.
Yeah, that's
was
true.
where she's like the deal changed.
The change.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're taking the entire ship.
Yeah.
Surprise! He's
And
like,
we're,
wait a
we're
minute.
leaving after this. He's like, but wait, the child's still with Froggingtons.
This is the way.
Yeah, and she's like, "This is the way. Sorry, this is how Mandalorians do things."
Yeah.
And it's funny because now he's getting a lecture on what Mandalorians really do.
Yeah, because
had
he's
kind of
passing
that-
judgment on everyone else.
Exactly.
And now he's getting the reality.
And he's
check.
like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Yeah, no, that's not how this happens."
Not at all.
So anyway, one thing that I really like is the fact that you get to see Mandalorians actually live up to their lore, live up to the image that people have of them. Because obviously the Mandalorian himself, that doesn't do it justice because he's one guy.
Yeah.
But seeing the Mandalorians actually
As a
function
team.
on a team,
Yeah.
So
it
efficient.
This is what they're
reminded
trained
me
for.
of Star Wars Republic Commando.
Oh yeah.
How everything was very efficient. You're a tactical team, and that felt awesome.
Yeah, literally.
able to
Like
see that?
the three of them, they're the perfect team. You got the leader,
Yep.
Bo-Katan. You got her
Yep.
sniper, Rogue on the side, and then you got the tank.
You got the
All
heavy.
together, all
And
three
it was
of them.
awesome. And
It was
then,
awesome.
And then you got the wild card Mandalorian.
Yeah.
The rookie. He
The
gets
rookie.
He gets the rookie
There
card.
you go.
I like how once they get in to the what's that front part?
The front
The-
part.
the-
Front part,
bridge.
the pilot's
The bridge. The
section,
cockpit.
the cockpit. There you go, the
bridge.
bridge.
The bridge.
If it's a big ship, it's called
But
the bridge.
I love how they get him up and they're like, bruh, like I'm not gonna kill you, and he's like, but when we get there, he will. And dude, he like he
it wasn't
like,
a cyanide pill. It was like electric
yeah,
pill.
it's like
Yeah.
an electrical cyanide pill. So badass.
Yeah,
cool.
because
So bad.
because the
Long live the
team
Empire.
captures the I don't even know his title. Would
The
be
head
he probably
officer.
The
The
head
guy-
officer.
Head officer, yeah.
Grand Poobah.
The petty officer. They capture
The
him,
Dalai Lama.
and he says, "Well, we're not going to kill you." And he quite literally does say, "I'm not worried about you.
No.
You may not kill me, but he will." And if you guys remember what happened in Captain America, how the Hydra guy kind of like kicks off one of his teeth and then bites it and it's a cyanide pill, same thing, but it's like an electrical charge and it fries his entire head, which is so cool.
Yeah, that was dope.
So they end up saving the
Suicide,
ship.
awesome.
No, suicide is not awesome. If you need help, please call the helpline and always get help. I'm very serious.
That's very
That's a
important.
very serious thing.
But yeah, I think that they and then they save the ship.
Yep.
Yeah, and which is
And all the gear.
It's cool.
Yeah.
That's good. But yeah, and
Glad
then
they
he's
didn't
like,
have the piece of gear they were looking for.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
turns out Bo-Katan is looking for the Darksaber. And she asks the captain and says, "Where is it?
Yeah.
Does he have it?" Obviously, it's very nuanced. She's not saying the direct names because obviously they both know what they're talking about, and we do too. But obviously the Mandalorian has no idea because he's not meant to know. And the captain basically says, "If you're asking, you already know the answer." So basically, that tells her,
That tells her, yeah,
he's
he got
got
it.
it.
But you can tell that they see the Mandalorian as an asset. I don't know if it's they want to use him as an just as extra firepower, or if they have some kind of like they feel like they have a connection to him in some way. I'm really curious to see where they take that because obviously he's gonna leave,
Yeah.
go on his own ship.
Which was another really cool part.
Yeah, because they're like, "You sure you don't want to come with us?"
Yeah.
And has other
He
things.
says,
that
no,
he
I have to
has.
go
But-
find the sorcerer, the Jedi. Have you heard of them?
Yeah.
And Bo-Katan says, what do you know about them? And he said, absolutely nothing. I forget the name of the planet, but Bo-Katan says, go to this forest planet of so-and-so.
Oh, we just saw it.
Yeah, go to this
And-
planet, this sector of the planet, and ask for say it,
Ahsoka Tano.
and ask for Ahsoka Tano. Tell her
Ahsoka.
Bo-Katan sent you, and she'll take care of you, which is really awesome because now he has a heading. Now he finally knows where to go for Baby Yoda.
I wonder if I can't remember the name of the planet. That planet is the one that Maz Kanata. I wonder if that's her planet. Like it's Force Planet with the temple.
I don't think so. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, we'll do some research.
I'm trying to think of other Force planets that are, because there's not that many planets in the Star Wars lore.
Not that we know of.
But there's a lot.
There's a lot of
But
them.
they're not in the lore.
But
Not known.
But the Mandalorian finally decides, like, no, I'm not going to go with you guys. Yep. And I think the reason, like you were saying, that you don't know how they want to use him, it's kind of Mandalorian culture and custom. When you find another Mandalorian, you kind of bring them into your team. They're your family because it's a brotherhood, it's a sisterhood, it's a family, and that's what I think makes it so cool. That's what I think makes it so cool is the fact that you know exactly what is going on with the Mandalorian culture now. And now that that's all fine, everything's settled, they take the ship. Mandalorian leaves. He goes back and he picks up the baby. And he says, okay, we know where we're going. We finally have a heading. And they take off.
I can't wait.
And then off they go.
I like that last scene where the spider crab octopus starts crawling and Baby's all
And then just Ultra Instinct.
I was just gonna say he Ultra Instinct backhand grabs it, and then it cuts away from Baby Yoda, and then it cuts back to him. He's got the little things like going into his mouth.
He eats some weird stuff, man.
Man, he eat anything at this point.
I relate to that. But yeah,
I'm really excited to see the next episode. I really hope. So I'm on the fence.
But
we got a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this next episode is gonna focus on the Mandalorian 100%, or do you think we're gonna get some more like backstory for other people or things like that? Like, when do you think they're gonna introduce Boba Fett? Do you think he's not gonna be in there till the end? Do you think that was just a little wink, wink, nudge, nudge? Like, what do we think this next episode's gonna be?
Revisit it, but the next episode will be Ahsoka Tano.
Yeah,
definitely.
Definitely.
The next episode's going to be Ahsoka Tano. I say we won't see Boba Fett for another 3 episodes.
Probably.
Because
it'll probably set him up for season 3.
Absolutely.
Probably mid to end.
But because the whole thing is, and this is just going off of me and looking into it from a production standpoint, you don't bring in someone that's kind of a high value person like Tamara Morrison for a quick little 3-second scene. He's not Stan Lee. He doesn't own the series, so it's no point. But I think that he's going to be in there. He's going to make his way around. I'm hoping to God he was still able to hang on to the Slave One, just because that's one of my favorite ships of all time. But I think you're going to see him later on, probably episode 6 or 5, 6, 7, around that mark.
Yeah, closer to the ending maybe of the season is what I think.
Because if we look at it, Ahsoka, Vader, Boba, they're all from the and same with Bo-Katan. They're all from the same exact time.
Yeah.
You know, they all grew up the same way, and they've probably crossed paths one way or another. I know definitely all of them have, but Boba Fett's been there too.
So what do you think that we're gonna see next episode?
They're obviously gonna get to the planet. Mando's gonna go look for Ahsoka Tano and obviously end up finding her, which I'm very excited to see live action. But he's gonna I think he's gonna try and, I don't want to say pawn off the child, because I think that their relationship is growing.
I don't think he's gonna get rid of it.
I don't think so either. I think he's going to
because
give him
the baby's
to her.
his ward now.
Yeah. But then ultimately he's gonna be like, never mind, I'm gonna keep him. I'm gonna train him in the ways of the Mandalorian.
I go for it.
I think it's going to be interesting. Like later on, because I'm thinking Disney wants to not milk, but just take this series very far and establish more lore. And I think that's awesome. I think that if you were to jump ahead, you're going to see maybe that this baby Yoda is going to be trained, but also have some kind of force power as well. So it'd be really interesting to see how.
I feel like they would be
not Jedi Force wielder.
Yeah,
I feel like they would be fools to let go of Baby Yoda at this point. What do you think, Kyle? What do you think's gonna happen?
I kind of agree with both of you guys. Like a mixture. Like I believe that he would, of course, obviously meet and see Ahsoka. We will see Ahsoka. If not next episode, the episode after that, definitely gonna be seeing Boba later or nearing the end of the series, just because there's rumors that they're maybe doing a Boba Fett series. You know.
I saw that.
But definitely it'll be like, he imprinted himself like with the child. Like he sees himself probably in the child. So he probably will not be so easily to give, him up. But it's gonna be very interesting to see. I'm excited to see Ahsoka Tano in live action.
I'm excited to see how it all plays off. I want to see that talk. I just want to see the talk. How it's gonna
Props
go.
to their makeup team
Definitely.
in advance, dude.
Beautiful.
Because you know they're gonna.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna look good.
Oh yeah. It's gonna look good.
Well, and I'm very excited. I think I smell a spin-off series of Baby Yoda and the Tadpole because they became best friends.
No.
It's like an 80s sitcom. It's a cop drama.
The child featuring Baby Froggington.
Baby Frog.
But anyway, that really covers episode 3. We're going to keep you guys updated as quick as we can, and we really appreciate you guys sticking around. But until the next time, this is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Do you know the way?
Oh my god.
I mean, sorry.